Although the Yoga Tab 3 Pro may be getting most of the attention for its integrated projector, there also remains another option for those on a budget. With a smaller 8-inch display, rotatable camera, and $170 price tag, the Yoga Tab 3 8-inch differentiates from its 10-inch brother in more than a couple ways. This is Bailey Stein with Android Authority, and this is my full review of the Lenovo Yoga Tab 3 8-inch. As expected, the Tab 3 and Tab 3 Pro share a similar shape and overall look. There's still a kickstand, the button and port locations are unchanged, and you're getting the same great build quality. But that's about where the similarities end and the differences begin. Make no mistake, the Tab 3 is much more than just a smaller version of the Pro. Unlike the plastic and leather used in the Pro, the Tab 3 incorporates texturized plastic into its design, which both looks good and feels great in the hand. The handling can still be a bit awkward in landscape mode, but the 8-inch Tab 3 is overall much more manageable than the 10-inch Tab 3 Pro. Mainly, it's not as heavy as the Pro, albeit still above average, likely thanks to its slightly smaller, but still very large 6200 mAh internal battery. The kickstand is limited to 2 positions, one of which can be used for either tilt or stand mode, and another which can be used for hanging the tablet from a nail or coat rack. Just as the case was with the Tab 3 Pro, the Tab 3's hang mode can be a bit gimmicky. Although the single effective kickstand position doesn't offer the same amount of versatility as a friction kickstand, it's still quite handy for many use cases. Coming to the front of the tablet, you'll find a pair of Dolby Atmos stereo front-facing speakers. They sound just as good as they do on the Tab 3 Pro, and they're also loud enough for most environments. The Tab 3's 8-inch 1280 by 800 IPS display looks good, despite offering a PPI of just 189, while those who have used higher resolution tablets like the Nexus 7 2013 or ZenPad S 8.0 will likely notice the lower sharpness when reading or watching a movie. Basic users will appreciate the quality of the panel. It has very accurate color reproduction, decent viewing angles, and a fair amount of maximum brightness. Although the adaptive brightness issue found in the Tab 3 Pro seems to be absent here, there's still a noticeably slow display response time, which causes a ghosting effect. The super sensitive touchscreen is also nice to have, but we were, again, disappointed when we couldn't find a setting option to disable it. Quite simply, it's just too sensitive for everyday use, as it accepts input from just about anything. Hopefully Lenovo will consider adding a setting toggle in the future with a software update. With the Tab 3, Lenovo has listened to some of its fans and decided to ditch the Intel Atom found in the Tab 2 for a Qualcomm Snapdragon processor. Perhaps disappointingly, they went with a low-end quad-core Snapdragon 212. There's also just 1GB of RAM, which seems almost comical in late 2015, as it makes multitasking very difficult, especially on a device intended for content consumption. Day-to-day performance was decent during our testing, but we noticed quite a bit of lag and stutter throughout Android in addition to slower app load times. While this is a lower-end tablet, we feel that the performance here still leaves a lot to be desired. Coupled with the Adreno 304, the Tab 3 is able to play most casual games without any issues. When running more graphic-intensive games like Asphalt 8, however, frame drops become noticeably frequent. Although the front-facing speakers make gaming more immersive, the amount of lag can be disconcerting at times. On the hardware side of things, the Tab 3 is packing single-band 802.11n Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 4.0. There's also 16GB of internal storage, with the option to expand via a microSD card up to 128GB. Kudos to Lenovo for going with 16GB as opposed to 8GB for the Tab 3. Battery life on the Tab 3 was exceptional and may just be the tablet's biggest selling point. We were able to use the tablet for no less than 3 days at a time, with an average of about 11 hours of screen-on time. The Tab 3's standby usage is some of the lowest we've seen on any Android tablet, which certainly helped the Tab 3 last for 3 full days of moderate usage. If you're looking for an 8-inch tablet with amazing battery life, look no further. On the top left side of the camera, there's a rotatable 8-megapixel camera which functions as both the rear and front-facing cameras. Unfortunately, it produces below average results. even for its price point. There's a lack of dynamic range, lack of detail, and colors appear to be washed out. The camera app is okay. There's still a few different modes, as well as a fair amount of options in the settings. Thankfully, the Tab 3's camera app isn't nearly as buggy as the one found on the Tab 3 Pro. We did not experience any crashes or error messages while trying to take pictures. Out of the box, the Lenovo Yoga Tab 3 is running a nearly stock build of Android 5.1 Lollipop. There are a few minor changes here and there, but overall, this is a much more vanilla experience compared to the semi-Vive UI experience on the Tab 3 Pro. Some of the changes that Lenovo has made, like the clear buttons in the multitasking menu or settings icon animation in the notification shade, do take away from the overall polish of the experience. However, we feel that many users will appreciate the closer to stock experience on the Tab 3 than the slightly skinned experience on the Tab 3 Pro. Luckily, bloatware is kept to a minimum with only a single third-party app, McAfee Security, which can even be uninstalled. You can pick up the Lenovo Yoga Tab 3 8-inch Wi-Fi model for $169 within the US, and an LTE variant is expected to launch soon for $199. We should also note that, while the review exclusively reflects our experience with the 8-inch model, there is also a 10-inch model of the Tab 3. That model is now available with Wi-Fi only for $199 within the US, and an LTE variant is expected to launch soon for $249. While the Lenovo Yoga Tab 3 does bring impressive battery life, excellent build quality, and a near-stock Android experience, it's still difficult to recommend, even with its $170 price tag. The display is of a lower resolution, and the camera is just disappointing. It's not that the Yoga Tab 3 is a bad tablet, it's just that there are better options available in the price category. Options like the ZenPad S 8.0 for $199, or even a used Nexus 7 from 2013 for less than $150 are much better performers and arguably offer a better package overall. Thank you for watching this video, and please make sure to give it a thumbs up below if you enjoyed it. Also, please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more content. Finally, be sure to visit the Android Authority website for additional coverage, as we are your source for all things Android.